So, you clicked on this video, and chances are you feel lonely. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I do too. Sometimes I feel like, you know, no one understands you, or no one wants to be your friend, or maybe romantically, no one's interested in you. And, I felt the same way for like the longest time. And to some extent, I still do. I still genuinely feel like, you know, people don't really like me for who I am, and sometimes I feel like I'm hiding. And chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably feel the same way too. And I'm not gonna give you the cliche answer that, oh, everything's gonna be fine, everything will be great, everything will be amazing, and you will figure out yourself in the future. I'm not gonna give you that BS. Sometimes life just hits you hard, and some days you feel more lonely than others, and that's fine. That's okay. It's normal to feel that way. It's fine to feel that way. It's normal, and you have to understand that. When you watch other videos like this, people usually talk about, oh, you won't be lonely forever, or you could just go out there and talk to people. But I'm an introvert. Well, kinda. I'm in the middle of an introvert and extrovert. I'm what they call an ambivert. And for me, well, I can adapt easily. I can talk to people. I can be by myself and enjoy life by myself. I can do a lot of things by myself. And even then, I still feel lonely sometimes. And I'm not a really lonely person. I have friends, I have family members that care about me. But it's moments like this where I'm 2 hours away from my hometown city. I'm by myself in college, and I'm just trying to exist and do the best I can. And it's hard. It's hard to not feel lonely, especially where everybody else seems to have friends and connections, and you're the only one that's the odd one out. Out of everybody here, I feel like I'm one of the only few people that actually drive 2 hours to get to this place, and it's tough. It's hard. Why did I choose to do this? Is for personal reasons. I don't want to see people from my school. I don't want to do this. I don't want to like socialize with people from my high school. So I just wanted to go out and have a little bit of freedom, and with that freedom comes in price, and that's starting from zero basically. And sometimes you need that. Sometimes you do need to start from zero in order for you to you know understand yourself, or understand the people around you, or to get a fresh beginning so you can accomplish your own dreams and goals, or just so they can get away from people. Sometimes it's good to be lonely. Like, I'm not saying that because I don't have a girlfriend, but like it's generally okay to like be alone. And I'm tired of hearing these people talk about, oh, you got to get a girlfriend, you got to do this, do that, you got to become a millionaire, you got to become successful. And when you watch these videos about relationship advice, it feels really daunting, right? You feel like you're a failure if you don't date or have a girlfriend by 20 by in your 20s. And I'm currently 21. I'm in college. Like I said, I'm currently by myself. I don't really know anybody here. I don't really try to socialize with anybody. I honestly could if I really wanted to, but I see it as a waste of time. I honestly do. But you know, when you're alone, you may feel sad. You may feel like, dang man, I'm alone. I'm a failure. But no, man, you don't always have to feel that way. When you're by yourself, take advantage of that. When you're by yourself for like not just a day, but for like months or even years, like sure you might feel like, damn, I'm lonely, lol. But take those times to like reflect on yourself and try to understand who you are, because I feel like many of us don't really take time to appreciate who we are. We don't really take time to understand ourselves and understand our wants and needs, especially if you're a people pleaser. I don't really consider myself a people pleaser, but I do have similar characteristics of one, where I usually put my needs before anybody else's needs, whether that be my siblings or my parents or a friend needs. And it's you know it's draining. It truly is. It's really draining. But you know take advantage of the situation you're in. You're alone, you have no one to talk to. If you're truly lonely, where you have no family members, no friends, no one to talk to, you know, it's bad. But take advantage of that. You have some advantages. You have some advantages. You have some advantages that you don't even realize, and you know it's hard when you have a lot of things going on. But being lonely, it doesn't have to be a disadvantage. It could be an advantage, right? It could be an advantage of time to know yourself, time to grow, time to develop hobbies, or time to go places, and be who you truly are. And if you're an outgoing person, go out there, go to parties, go to the gym, go to car meets if you're interested in car meets, get into sports, do martial arts, do MMA, do boxing, do something, right? For me, what made me stop feeling lonely was doing sports. And for the longest time, I did martial arts, I did karate, and I've been doing that for 15 years. And I'm not gonna lie, even after doing sports, there were times where I felt lonely. There were times where I'm like, damn, no one understands me, no one gets me. But there's gonna be a time where you're gonna find someone that can understand you. And if you don't, that just means you're unique. You gotta find a way how to get comfortable with yourself. And when you feel lonely, I feel like it's usually when you don't feel comfortable with yourself, and that's a harsh lesson to learn. You gotta learn how to be comfortable with yourself. You gotta be comfortable with just existing, right? Not necessarily having to you know become the wisest person on earth, or having to you know love yourself so much that you become narcissistic. I'm not saying they should be like that. I'm saying that you should love yourself to an extent that you accept yourself, and you love all your good qualities and your bad qualities. And nowadays people don't really like you know some qualities of yourself, whether that's you being super shy, or you being timid, or you being rude, or whatever it is. Personally, I hate how shy I am. I honestly hate it. I hate myself so much for that. And there's a lot of other things that I feel like I have to hide my true self because people won't accept me. And it's sad, right? It's sad that people think that way. And many of us do it because we want to survive. We want to feel like we fit in. But just know that you don't have to do that. You don't. That's a lesson I learned recently, where you don't have to pretend that you're not someone that you're not. Because if you're starting to pretend that you're someone that you're not, at some point you're gonna crash, right? At some point you're gonna just say, it's enough. I can't handle this anymore. And whatever it is that you're hiding is gonna come out, whether it be in short spans or all in one big hit, right? It's all gonna come out eventually. So it's better to start being your true self than hiding it. Whether that be you being in the closet, whether that be you not doing something that you love doing, right? And I have a motto. My motto is, well, my philosophy, right? My philosophy is, you should do whatever you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody, right? You should be allowed to do whatever you want to do without hurting anybody. And of course, there's consequences with that. Any action that you do now will have consequences in your future. Whether that be, working out or not working out, doom scrolling, not doom scrolling, being productive, not being productive. Anything that you do will have consequences, right? So you just choose the consequences that you want, right? And I recognize with loneliness that I choose not to talk to people, and that makes me lonely, so that's a consequence of that. And sometimes you choose to not to talk to anybody. You choose to be the lone wolf, the alpha male or alpha female, whatever, right? And sometimes it's not a choice. Sometimes whatever you do, you just can't connect with people. And I've been there before, especially in middle school, where I feel like I couldn't connect with anybody, right? I was basically the only Hispanic guy in my school and in my middle school. And I feel like I didn't belong there because everybody else was, a different skin tone, right? Even now, in some schools that I go to or some places that I go to, I feel like I don't belong. Whether that be because, even though I'm Hispanic, I don't like spicy food, or I don't like certain stuff that typically Hispanics like, right? And, it makes me feel like I don't belong there. And sometimes where I am in places where I do like being. For example, I used to be in theater. Even though I love theater, I love acting, and I love everything in theater, I still feel like I didn't belong, right? So just choose what you want to do truly. And once you understand what you want to do, you will no longer feel lonely. Like, it's, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that just by you doing something that you truly love doing, like, you don't feel lonely anymore. I don't know why that is. For example, when I'm like, at the gym, right? I'm by myself at the gym. I'm usually with a friend or with somebody, right? That's accompanying me. And when I'm at the gym, like, I love every single rep. I love going to the gym, and the loneliness thing goes away, at least for that bit, right? It's kind of like trading one pain for another. That's how I view it. I view trading in the emotional pain of feeling lonely with physical pain of, the weight's crushing down on me and I have to push it up and all that stuff. That's how I see it. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay that you feel lonely. It's normal. It's completely normal. I don't like when people demonize you being lonely. It's dumb. It's genuinely dumb when people demonize you being lonely, because it's okay. It's genuinely fine. It's okay to feel lonely, man. It's okay for you to, like, feel like that. Now, if you want a girlfriend, that's a whole different story. I can't help you with that, man. That's all on you, or a boyfriend, or a significant other that you want, right? That's on you. I have no advice for that. One advice that I kept hearing from people is the one I just gave you, which is being yourself. And it's hard. It's hard, but at some point you have to choose. It's them or me. And I guess it also comes with learning to put yourself first, right? Which you learn from being lonely. So it's okay to be lonely, right? That's what I'm saying. It's okay to be lonely because you learn how to put yourself first when you're lonely. You learn how to prioritize your own needs and wants and your own goals, right? So yeah, so it's fine. Trust me, it's fine. Prioritizing yourself will take you a long way, because when you prioritize yourself, you learn a lot, right? You learn a lot. You learn about your new strengths you didn't know you had. You learn about new opportunities, about, a lot of things that you didn't know you had in you, right? When you start prioritizing yourself. And being selfish is something that you learn as well, because when you're by yourself, well, you're like, oh, it's all about you now. It's all about you. It's all on you. And the word selfish is demonized a lot in our culture, or in society, right? It's demonized a lot. But you have to learn how to be selfish in order for you to, like, be able to be with somebody. Because if you learn how to be selfish, you learn how to control yourself. You learn, like, what you truly want, especially if you always prioritize other people, right? If you're like a people person, or the guide in your friend group, or whatever it is, right? When you prioritize someone else, you don't prioritize yourself. And that's a harsh lesson you gotta learn. But yeah, you got it, bro. You're going to be with somebody someday. I know I said I wasn't going to say that, but it's true. And if you're a person of faith, put your needs on the Lord. If you're not a person of faith, grab a journal and start writing down like your emotions, right? Because it comes, loneliness comes with a lot of bad things, but psychologically, right? But like I said earlier, it's your time to grow, to learn, to become the best version of yourself that you can be, to transform into someone that you always wanted to be, right? And that's a good thing about being lonely. That's a good thing. You get to do that, and when you're with someone else, whether that be in a relationship or even friend groups, you don't get to do that yourself all the time, right? So take this time to learn about yourself, to learn what you truly want. And if you're looking for a partner, that's also comes with it. You gotta know what you truly want in a partner, what type of partner you want, what type of person you want to be with, and as well as what's a deal breaker in a partner, right? So you get to learn all these things about yourself. And if you never, some of you are going to say, how am I going to know what I want if I never get the opportunity to date someone? Well, you can learn. You'll be surprised how much you can learn about yourself by doing that. But yeah, well, I hope you feel better. I don't know if I said made any sense to you, but I hope you feel better. Take care, bro. See you later, bro.